Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Good morning. It's not morning for me, clearly. It is 9:30 the previous evening, and so I've poured myself a glass of red wine. I used to really enjoy this wine, and I don't know, my tastes have changed massively, and I just went into the kitchen and was like, I feel like I want something, but I don't know what it is. And the bottle was just there, and I thought, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's like a seasonal thing. I don't know. It's the Apothic Cab. Again, I used to have a real thing for it, and I think it might have disappeared, but it feels right, doesn't it? It's the right time of year. Let's talk weekly favourites. This week I've got a bit of a mix, starting with my sweatshirt. I asked last week, or the week before, whenever it was I did the last one of these, whether or not you would like to see or hear from me kind of some mixed and some lifestyle and some whatever else, and the answer was yes. So this sweatshirt I just bought, and I bought it because Liza Prido, honestly, the entire name, I apologise because I'm realising I don't know how to say it, but she talked about it on her Instagram, and I was sold immediately. It's from Asda. It was only £12.50. I might be slightly covered in glitter right now because I was just making Christmas candles, so apologies if I'm just like, if there's little sparkles everywhere, but as she said, it's got the nice little side splits which just makes it hang a little bit nicer. There's something about the volume of the sleeve that then pinches in that I really like. Can you see? Do you know what I mean? It's got a line down the centre. I love the colour. The material is really nice. When Lee kind of came to hug me earlier, he was like, this feels really soft. I'm like, yes! Asda, £12.50. And when I went in the day that she talked about it, and she must have influenced the world because, well, you know, Yorkshire at least, because they only had 2 left in one colour, which thankfully was the colour that I wanted, and they were medium. I would have gone large, and I'm so glad that they only had the medium because this fits perfectly. So Asda, £12, and very, very recent, so if you can get your hands on it, would highly recommend. Another kind of lifestyle favourite, if you will, is these kind patches. I bought these initially way back in, I want to say May. It was before we went to New York, because I was wearing them a ton then. I got these ones and the energy patches. And because they are visible, like you put the patch on yourself, people ask me a lot about them. And I was like, I really don't know whether or not they work. I haven't had them for long enough. I haven't had a good amount of time to trial them when I'm not trying other things. I don't know. I didn't feel confident in saying they worked. In fact, I was kind of convinced they were a bit of a placebo. So since I got back from my last trip when I went to visit my friend in Hong Kong, this makes me sound like a jet setter, and I swear I am not. I went to Hong Kong for 3 days to visit my friend who'd moved there. I'm not a travel-y type of person. I go on 1 holiday a year. But when I was in New York and then I went to Hong Kong, when I came back from that trip, I suddenly, my sleep patterns changed. I don't know what it was. I was there for such a short period of time, but I think I just like slept hardly at all, and my circadian rhythm just reset somehow. Suddenly I was just going to bed and going to sleep straight away. First time in my entire life I'm not watching TV at night. Lee and I just go to bed. If you told me this, like even in August, if you told me that when you go to bed, you just like, good night then, good night dear sir, next to me, good night partner, and then in darkness and silence you go to sleep, I'd think you were a psychopath. I have never, ever done that. Even when I've stayed with friends, like Emma has always said, I need to be constantly entertained. It's like a bit of a running joke. Because if we stayed in a hotel room together, I would have headphones in and I would play like an episode of something while I went to sleep. Have to have a little low-level noise and entertainment throughout my entire life. And so the fact that I am now sleeping, now I would find it disruptive to have something on at night. Something changed. Something changed in me. It was like a lost situation. I think it was like a body snatcher. Something changed on that flight home. Maybe on the flight there. I don't know. Because it felt weird while I was there. But my rhythm has changed. That said, in the past week or so, I've had some pretty bad back pain from just doing a lot of kind of more physical stuff around the house. And I've developed, I mean, it's basically sciatica. The pain, as I understand it, that is the exact pain. It's like going down my legs. It's really, really uncomfortable, and I'm struggling to sleep. So I decided that this was a good time to try these. Rather than try my my real good melatonin gummies that I know work. I thought I'm going to try these patches. And you know, again, this could be psychosomatic, but I really do think that they work. I will say I used 2 patches at once, even though these are like extra strong. I used 2 patches at once. So sue me. But I really do think that they work. And I don't feel groggy the next day. I would probably put these on a little bit earlier than I would take melatonin gummies. But I don't see why they wouldn't work. You know, like HRT works. We've got Nicorette patches. Why wouldn't they work? There are other examples of topical treatments, topical like vitamin supplement type things. So I don't know. But I feel now like I want to say yes. They do work, and I'm going to try some more from the brand. What I'm wearing today on my face, quite pleased to announce, is just one thing. This has been a favourite for the longest time. It's the Flawless Beauty Primer from Pixi. If they stop making this, in fact, I'm going to Google it right now. If they stop making this, because I'm going to talk about another discontinued product in a second, I will cry. Thank God it's still available. Okay. Right, so it is £24, which is pricey. I have had it sent to me, but I've also purchased it with my own cash, and I absolutely would purchase it again. It is, I'll show you in the back of my hand. It is, I think they only do 1 colour, so bear in mind this is definitely like, because it is tinted, I don't know how this is going to look on deeper skin tones, but for me, this works perfectly. So it is, you know, it's not super tinted, but it is, you know, there's a colour to it. And when you swatch it, it kind of does look like foundation, but it's not foundation. It's not foundation. It's somewhere between like a tinted moisturiser and a really glowy product. Like not a highlight as such, but that is, it's not, you know, you can fully still see my skin through it. There's not really any coverage, but there is a tint. And so this morning, I kind of wanted to feel a little bit more alive, but I didn't have a lot of time to put on makeup, and I didn't really feel like a full face of makeup. I'm just working from home. So I put this on, just mascara, and that's that. And I honestly feel like this, I've never really done that before, you know, maybe from time to time, but not like intentionally been like, this is going to be my base. I think this might be my favourite product in the entire world. It might be. It might be. I can use this underneath foundation. I now realise I can use this as a glowy tinted moisturiser, which is amazing. And I can also use it as just a highlight. So I just like the sheen. It's not a highlight. It's just it makes you look really alive. It's the one thing in my makeup collection right now that if everything else disappeared, I think I might pick this up first, even before mascara. This is stayed in my everyday makeup for maybe years at this point, and it's one of those things that initially I was really excited about it. I talked a lot about it, maybe here and there I have, but you know when something just becomes a staple to a point of, no, this is actually my favourite thing. This is the thing that I never don't use. And when I don't have it, I really notice. So, yeah, I feel really strongly about this, apparently. I don't have anything on my lips right now, and that is intentional because I want to show you something. This, if you saw my declutter of the lip products, it was an over 2-hour live video of me going through all of my lip products that I had to hand, swatching them, making cuts. I was swatching on my face. We were chatting. We were talking nostalgia. I had so many old products that are no longer available anymore. Matte collectibles. I'm going to put that into a more succinct video, you know, like my actual makeup graveyard, what I'm keeping but I'm not using anymore. I thought that would probably be a fun video at some point. But if you want to waste some time, if you want someone to talk to you while you're doing things, 2 hours worth of me chatting and getting rid of things. And this was one of the products. I've got this in, this is a discontinued product. I'm going to talk about another one as well. This is a Power Matte. Is it discontinued? I'll check in a second. Oh no! I just spilled it on myself. I didn't realise it was that liquidy. Okay, so don't tip it upside down. Oh, that is an absolute miracle. I'm sitting on a white cushion and it got on my leggings. Okay, cool. So this is a very liquidy product. It's kind of like an ink. Well, I may as well just wipe it on my leggings at this point. I have it in this colour. I'm just going to Google if this is still available. I have it in this colour, American Woman, and I have it in another colour, which is a really deep kind of plum purpley red colour. No, it's not. It hasn't been discontinued. I think I'm confusing it for the Velvet Lip Glide, which I loved so much, and that has been discontinued. So anyway, when I first bought this, I love the colour. I love it in theory. I don't know how I ended up with two of them because I don't like the formula. Just stay with me because I know this is a favourite, but it's almost kind of a fail within itself because I've held on to them because they were expensive, and I did like the colours, but I never used them for that reason. They were annoying, and I felt like they were really dry, and they are a power matte, so that clues in the title. But the way that you apply them, you can't really apply them thinly enough for them to be comfortable on the lips and for them not to look thick and cakey. So as I was going through and swatching things, I was like, let me just see. Oh my God, I've got it everywhere. Let me just see. So how I've been applying it is I'm just putting a little dot and then blurring it out with my finger, which looks so much nicer. My lips are so dry. My lips are so dry since I did that video because I tried so many lipstick on. It was not ideal. So just kind of like blurring it out. That's a really nice colour for me, I feel. I love it. And then on top of that, I will put a balm. My balm that I'm using at the moment is a balm that has literally nothing left in it. But again, when I was going through everything, I discovered that I had this and I became fixated on the fact that this was the best lip balm I've ever used in my life. This is the Elizabeth Arden 8 Hour lip balm. And obviously I loved it because I used it up, which is unheard of. But I'm now struggling to let it go, even though it's definitely dead. Oh, that is amazing. And then underneath, the power matte of it all has a little bit more staying power than your average lipstick. I think I found the way to wear this. If I don't need, like if my lips are in a little bit better condition than they are at the moment, then I can just do the blurred out look and that looks really cute. Or if I want to, I can add a gloss or add a sheer or add a balm or whatever on the top. I think that's really cute. And part of this whole thing of like decluttering, reorganizing, I've just put more drawers in here. I've had a major declutter of the office. Like outside of this door is so much stuff that needs to go to the tip. Just so many things that I've been holding on to for really no reason at all. For years, I've had like a real serious purge. I'd like to do one of my clothes. I feel like I did do that. I don't know. I always say I want to do that with my clothes, and then I'm like, I look at them and think, do I have to? I don't know. I don't know if I want to. I like the idea of being a minimalist, and it's just not who I am. But what I do want to do is I want to have a better idea of what I've got. This is in every way, with my clothes, with my makeup, with everything, with my skincare even. I want to know what I've got. I'm going to play around with it. I want to see if things that maybe I didn't think worked before work better in a different way. This is all going to work for me once I have less / have more visibility. Maybe that's the problem. It's not about having less of things. It's just being able to see them. So the way I have my clothes right now, it's all kind of like in my vision. I can see it. But the problem is I need that for knowing what I've got and for dressing myself. I need that visual. It can't be behind a door. But I also hate it being on show. I am an enigma. Let's move on. The wine's getting better as I drink it. This is another thing I found while I was doing my declutter, and I'm reminded how sad I am that this has been discontinued as well. Oh, it's so... This actually, do you know what? I mean, this is definitely going in my makeup graveyard. It's so good. It was the Elizabeth and James, Nirvana Black. I remember these used to be a thing that everyone talked about. You could get them in like, I think big and small, a set of the black and the wine. Everybody loved the black the most. I don't know why they discontinued this, but I was going to ask you, anyone who loved that perfume and is like a real perfume kind of person, if you had any suggestions of what might be similar to it. But instead, I already Googled, because I remembered I'm supposed to be the one that gives you information. Fragrantica, which is my favourite website for perfume stuff. because it just really lays it out for me. And again, visual wise, it's very pleasing. It's not like a lot of words, it's a lot of visual stuff, like colours and very clear like charts of this is what's in this is what people think is in this, even little pictures of the ingredients. I love it. So the main accords are woody, powdery, vanilla, violet, warm, spicy, and balsamic. And as I try more perfumes and try and find my ultimate, what is going to be my signature scent, I'm realising I really quite like a powdery scent. We've got a candle scent called Cashmere, and that's got, I think it's tonka that makes it like that kind of powdery note. Between that and I definitely like kind of a more spicy, a more masculine scent. It's kind of all coming together. So anyone who has got any recommendations of something that's kind of almost a unisex or is a unisex fragrance, I like kind of a powdery, kind of a spicy, woodsy scent. Nothing too sweet. I mean, not nothing too sweet. I do like the occasional floral sweet scent. There are sweeter scents that I do like, but I am looking for like, this is my ultimate. And if I'm wanting something kind of like sultry rather than fresh and sweet. Each has their moment, each has their day and their use, but I am looking for like, this is me, and it would more lean on the masculine side. So please, if you can think of something that would fit into that, let me know. I think do I just have one more thing to I think I do. I think I just have one more thing to talk about, and it is this. I briefly talked about this when I first got it. It's the Nip and Fab Replenish Peptide Fix Finishing Oil. This was sent to me alongside a few different things from Nip and Fab. I did use it, but I was trying to reuse. I was trying to use up things that I had and not just keep having loads and loads of things open. So I was finishing something up before I went back to this, and it is really nice. The thing that makes this special, unlike, and don't get me wrong, I am still using one of the other, I think it's a Q&A. It's in here. I'm still using this one, but I had another oil that I was using up. The Q&A Squalene Facial Oil, really like this. This is a richer, and it's much cheaper. This is like a richer, like a heavier oil. I still like this for underneath my makeup and just as part of my skincare. It's kind of like more of a basic facial oil. If I was going to do like a facial massage, this is what I would use, and a little bit of it underneath my makeup. I'm obsessed with an oil. I love it. Whereas this, the finishing oil, the thing I really like about it is after I've used everything else in my routine, then I use this. It's a duo phase. In fact, I shouldn't have done that. I should have shown you that it was duo phase first. Or duo phase? Dual phase. I suppose both could be true, but I feel like one is probably correct. So you can kind of see it's got, presumably, some kind of liquid serum and then the oil. So then you shake it, and it's very liquid. It's not like not very liquid, very liquid. It's not like your average oil. First of all, it's blue, but it's not got quite the heaviness. See, did you see that? It just literally, it just travels. It's more watery in consistency. And so, you know, like those people on Instagram, because I've never really understood it until I used this product. You know, it feels so nice. It's just really light. And then it's just, and then my skin just looks good. Love it. You know, like there's people on Instagram where they put something on their hands. They don't want to waste it, but they put it in their hands and they do this and then they do this. And then they just press it into their face. Like that. I do that. And I don't feel like a dick at all. I don't feel like a dick at all because it's the last step. The reason that I struggle with oil as the last step, I know that you're supposed to do the heaviest step last, and oil is going to be the heaviest thing. The reason that I struggle with that is I like to put an oil on and like really work it into my skin. Whereas if I use like a moisturizer of any kind first, then I put the oil on and it's going to go all weird. This is why people do the weird thing that makes them look like a dick. But because it was called a finishing oil, I was like, okay, I'm going to do. I really feel it. I do the pressing in. I'm like kind of putting on a top coat to the rest of my skincare with this. And I love it. I love it. I can't tell you that when this is used up, I'll immediately go out and buy it again. Because I do have other things and I do enjoy heavier oils. I do enjoy other products. But at the moment, I am really enjoying this. And I am seeing a purpose for it. I feel like more so in the summer, because it is lighter, I would be more inclined to purchase this. Right now, I'm enjoying it as like a final step on top of like, I'm doing all of the layers and then the heavier layer and then this is my dick move. But in the summer, I might do like just my Skin and Me serum and then this. I might. Who's to say? I am. But I might. And that's it. I feel like there's something else. Oh, I was going to mention, it's not a favourite because it literally arrived today, but I was going to mention in case anyone noticed. Not that I think you would because distance, but I'm wearing a silicone scar sheet thing because I was looking up. I've got a really bad keloid now and it's gotten worse and worse to the point of, it's not that I'm self-conscious about the keloid because I've had keloids for years. And I'm at the point where I don't care that much anymore. What bothers me is the keloid has pushed down where the piercing is. So now my earrings look weird. Now if it was just like, if the keloid was somewhere else on my ear, I would be less bothered by it. But because I'm not taking it off to show you because I've put this thing on, but because it's like quite a large lump on the middle piercing, it makes my piercings look like weird and higgledy-piggledy. So I am trying some things to try and reduce it. And it is really itchy as well, which makes me worry that it's only going to get bigger. So when I was looking at different things that would help, this apparently is like the number one thing that is used, scar sheeting. I wish I'd known about this when I had C-sections because my scarring all over my body is not great, but particularly, I am prone to keloid and hypertrophic scarring. And so I'm nervous to have anything done anywhere visual. I'm nervous even to have someone try and do something to it in case it was worse. So I'm going to try all of the non-invasive things first. But if it did get bigger or if nothing else worked, I may go back. I had one cut out of the back of my ear when I was a teenager. I didn't have my ears pierced for a really long time because of that. And then, I don't know, I got drunk and had my ears pierced. I went to a proper piercer. It was with a needle. Everything was as it should be. It appeared like a year after the piercing. It just, some people are more prone to it than others. It is what it is. But I'm telling you this now, first of all, in case you notice, but second of all, because if it works, I will never stop talking about it. And that is everything. Thank you so much for joining me for another weekly faves. I am so excited about this weekend because I'm going to Sheer with Lee, Milo, Emma and Chris, which is the place that they filmed The Holiday. So if you follow me on Instagram, expect many reels. I'm very excited about it. We're launching a little holiday-themed candle melt gift set, or wax melt gift set in our little candle shop. So again, lots of reels for that as well. So yeah, stay tuned. There'll also be a vlog. But otherwise, thanks for joining me, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.